Scientific strides in HIV treatment and prevention have reduced transmissions and HIV-related deaths significantly. However, inequality threatens efforts to eradicate the disease as it disproportionately impacts marginalized groups.
We've made conscientious efforts over the last decade or 2 decades to make HIV prevention and treatment services available all over the country. However, in terms of access, there are certain population groups that are more vulnerable, and that because of stigma and discrimination and because of economic barriers or because of social and societal and cultural barriers, they find it very difficult to access the services, even when the services are by their doorstep.
We see the gap on the vulnerability between the boys and the girl of the same age. Prevalence, sometimes it's even 3 times higher on the young girls as compared, to the boys of the same age brackets, because they are vulnerable. They're vulnerable because the knowledge is not there. They are sometimes coerced, to have sex with older men, in different situations. In Nigeria and elsewhere, you've got early marriage, which also are parts of the entire spectrum of what you call gender-based violence. Gender-based violence, there's a link between gender-based violence on HIV acquisition.
Gender-based violence, or GBV, one of the most widespread but least recognized human rights abuses in the world, is one of the driving forces of the HIV and AIDS epidemic, affecting individuals and communities everywhere. Many victims of gender-based violence have less self-esteem and a lowered sense to self-worth. As a result, it is much harder to coax people who face GBV or who fear violence or abandonment to seek services, test for HIV, or to successfully access or adhere to treatment.
We also see it in terms of maltreatment of people living with HIV, especially most of the time women, particularly in situation of transmission to child, what we call vertical transmission of HIV, where it's the woman who goes to the hospital, get tested, and is first known. It's not that you don't know who. Of course, she probably gets it from someone, maybe the spouse or the partner. And you see the woman, because she's the one that is tested and positive, becomes the carrier, becomes the person that has brought the virus and disease to the family.
I discovered it when I lost my husband. So I was not aware he was infected. So he hid it from me. After his death, I now became sick. So I went for general tests. This is where I discovered it.
We also have it in form of economic abuse, where people, because they are not empowered, they do not have economic power. They cannot negotiate safe sex. They cannot, even where they know their partner is not, they can't trust, they are unable to discuss it. They also at times need to pick up sex work, which can predispose them to HIV transmission. So we have a lot of issues that we deal with that we must address in order to actually have HIV controlled and bring the epidemic to a closure.
Female genital mutilation also plays a significant role in facilitating the transmission of HIV infection through numerous mechanisms. Recognizing the equal worth and dignity of every person is an ethical imperative. Ending inequality is the path to equitable access to services for people living with HIV and to a healthier world for us all.